All right, we're live. So you'll notice that I don't have my microphone in front of me. A few other things that you might have noticed is that the background behind me is a little bit different. I've kind of been doing some things a little bit different here before I just dive into the coaching thing. First of all, I'm hoping that microphone's working okay. It's the microphone that's in the webcam that I've got um, up there on the monitor in front of me that I'm looking at you kind of. Anyway, so yeah, so I turned my desk so that now I'm kind of facing not into the room, but there's half of the room that's on the other side of the desk. I still have the wall of monitors, so it kind of blocks that part of the room out. There were a few reasons for that. One was just that I felt like I needed to change. Another thing was that not everything really fit in here the way I wanted, and so I'm kind of playing with the layout of my office. Of course, that mostly means that my office is once again a big disaster. It's not as bad as it looks if you walked in. Um, it just means that there's a pile of stuff on the recliner and a pile of stuff on the standing desk over there. But anyway, kind of playing with that and seeing how that all comes together. But yeah, so I'm talking into this mic up here because I haven't hooked my audio equipment back to my computer. And I'm still fiddling with that, so we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so I've decided to kind of theme these, based on what I have going on, and talk about one topic more or less, since it's a daily thing, and I can kind of give an update throughout the week. Things day to day aren't going to change a ton. Anyway, so yeah, so I was talking to my business coach today, and sorry for the light coming in on this side of my face, like the dark side and the light side. Anyway, usually I get on in the morning and I show you my watch and hey, I'm up at 5 a.m. And I didn't do that this morning because I was up until 2:30 or 3 working on podcast show notes. And I've had some production issues with that. And I talked to my coach about this as well. And anyway, so I got a lot of great advice there as far as what's going on. And what's interesting, and one thing that I've learned having a business coach, is that you more or less have to show them all of your awards, right? If you're going to ask somebody for help, then you have to tell them the whole story with the things they're going to help you with. And I kind of didn't do that for the first little while. And like, she didn't get on my case about it, but the more I told her about the problems I was having and the embarrassingly stupid things that I did, yeah, next time I'm just gonna I'll just put my hand there for right now. But anyway, the more I told her about that, the more that she was able to help me. One other thing is that I've been fighting this particular issue for a while, and she gave me some advice, and I immediately took it. So she mentioned that I may want to actually talk to my podcast editor to see if he can do my show notes. And he does the show notes for the Entre Programmers podcast. And so, there's no reason why he couldn't do it for my shows. I hesitated a little bit because there have been like some spelling errors and stuff in the other ones. But other than that, the show notes are fine. So generally what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to have him post the show notes at least a couple days in advance for the shows, and then I can just go look at them. Make sure that there's nothing in there that needs to be updated. The other thing is he's not a programming expert, so I should probably be doing that anyway, just in case there's something critical that he may have missed as far as, mention this, not that, or something like that. So anyway, the other thing is just, just being upfront and being open to taking advice. And she had a ton of great ideas. And what's funny is, and this is something that comes back to coaching a little bit, is you want to go find somebody that has just solid experience, and has done a lot, knows a lot. So my business coach is Jamie Masters from eventualmillionaire.com. And so she's talked to a lot of people who have done the kinds of things I'm doing. She's a podcaster like I am, and she draws in a lot of her business off of the podcasts and things like that. And so just kind of looking at those opportunities for growth. I've been frustrated, and this is one of the things that I talked to her about on the call, was that things haven't gone the way that I wanted, I keep trying to grow things, but then the business keeps intruding on it. I had a conversation with AJ O'Neill from JavaScript Jabber as well about a similar thing, where he's trying to build the technology and the product for his company, but business stuff keeps intruding on that, and so he doesn't make as much progress as he would like. And it sounds like they're making plenty of progress. I'm not trying to, infer that they're not. But, I think it's a common thing that a lot of entrepreneurs deal with in that, hey, how much do I work on the business and how much am I working in the business? And the in the business stuff a lot of times will preempt the on the business stuff because it has to be done. That's what you're actually selling. And so, I'm in the same boat. I have sponsors that are paying for the podcast to go out. And so that's the in the business stuff. And yet I want to be building products and making courses and things like that for people, so that I can do, and then that's more the on the business stuff, right? Where I'm creating more opportunities for growth. So anyway, I talked to her about that and she gave me a whole bunch of great ideas. And so it'll be interesting to see how this all works out. But yeah, so I'm going to be hustling. I'm going to be pulling together some things for Angular folks and Ruby folks, since those are the people I'm focused on right now. And I'm really excited about those opportunities. One other thing that she does when we do our, my arm's getting tired, when we do our calls is that she actually puts notes into a Google Doc for me as we're talking. So, I have some action items for this week and for next week and the week after, and and then next month as well. And so it should be interesting to see how we can pull all of this together and just really drive things home and make this stuff work. So anyway, yeah, I'm just going to get in and get things together and just nail it. Now I still have to do some of the in the business stuff, right? So we've got podcast episodes that still have show notes that need to be written and released today. And so I'm going to be finishing that up today. I'm hoping to hit the sponsorship stuff hard tomorrow, but also to chase some of these possibilities. And if I can, arrange a lot of this stuff, then what happens is then I can actually focus on working on the business and, doing the finding sponsor stuff and, all of the other things that I have going on. But I'd really like to get some products out there and make that an option as well. So, just talking to her and just telling her, I've tried this, this has worked, this hasn't worked, I haven't done as well on this as I wanted to, and just identifying where the areas of growth are, and then allowing her to use her experience to really kind of bring things up to the next level. So anyway, those are kind of my thoughts there. I know it's kind of not strictly speaking on getting coached, and I've talked a lot about things going on in the business, but that's kind of where this comes from. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up, and I will be back on tomorrow and we'll talk about some other stuff. But yeah, I also hired a project manager to help me figure a lot of this stuff out and just, help me do planning and things like that, because planning and I are not friends. But yeah, so I'll probably talk more about that tomorrow. But anyway, have a great one, and keep an eye out. I'll probably be up early tomorrow and do the regular show at the regular time. So anyway, if you missed it today, sorry about that. One other thing I wanted to shout out, Code Sponsor. Go check them out. Eric Berry is a good friend of mine. He's on the Ruby Rogues podcast. And if you're doing any kind of open source stuff, or you work for a company that has a marketing budget that wants to support open source, they kind of get a twofer in that, because it gets your message in front of programmers, and at the same time, you're also supporting open source. So it's a terrific way to go. And that's over at codesponsor.io. So I'm just going to shout them out because it's great stuff and it's awesome. So anyway, I'll catch you all tomorrow.